Okay, second graders, make sure that you have your benchmark test for Unit 2 working together. Looks like this. Put your name at the top and let's begin. This first part we are going to take is part 1. So go to the first page. You are going to read this on your own. The story is called An Afternoon with Lynn. Let me show you what the page looks like. Okay, this is what the story looks like. It's on page 2. If you look down here, it says page 2. That's the page you should be on. Part 1 is comprehension. That means understanding what you read. The directions say, follow along as I read with your eyes. Directions: read this story about two friends, then answer numbers 1 through 8. An Afternoon with Lynn. Lynn and Susan are the two characters in this story. You need to read this on your own, so I know that you can understand what you read by yourself or independently. There's this part, this page, and then you're going to flip it on page 3, and you're going to read this part as well. So there's 2 parts to this story, 2 pages. Don't forget to read this. Okay, once you're done with that, this little lady down here is going to tell you to go on. So go on to the questions. That's where I will read them for you. Remember, at any time you can go back and look for the answer. This is something you should do. Not that you shouldn't, you should. You can also get a highlighter and highlight your answers. I love it when kids do that. So flip the page to page 4 so you can listen to the questions when you are ready after you read. Remember to pause it until you need me to read the questions. Don't just answer the questions without reading it. This is important. I am wanting to know if you understand what you read. Okay, second graders, just like we take our end of selection test, here are your questions for the story you just read. Go back and find the answers. You may get a highlighter and highlight them. So follow my star. If at any time you need to pause, go ahead. Number 1. Where was Lynn's mother during the story? At her home. Let me read that again. At her own home in China at Lynn's school. Number 2. What happened first? Susan's mother called Lynn's mother on the telephone. Lynn asked Susan to come to her house for tea. Lynn's mother asked Susan if she'd like tea. 3. How were Lynn and Susan alike? They played with the same friends. They were both from China. They liked to have tea together. Number 4. What happened when hot water was added to the dried leaves? It became tea. Susan dropped her cup. Lynn invited her friend over. Number 5. What would be another good title for the story? Making new friends at school, learning all about China, sharing tea with a friend. Okay, there's 3 more questions if you flip the page to number 5. And then we have 1 writing that I will help you with. Okay, number 6. Which word describes Susan? Which words? Noisy and funny, afraid and disappointed, polite and nice. Should be on number 7. Why did Susan's mother call Lynn's mother? She wanted to get to know her. She wanted to find out about tea. She needed to learn about China. Number 8. What happened when Lynn and her family drank tea? It helped them to stay warm. It made them think of China. It made them feel strong. Okay, once you're done with that, this little lady down here tells you to go on. So we're going to go on. So turn the page and then go to the back. That's what I'm doing with mine. And you are going to write a story about based on what you read in An Afternoon with Lynn and Tea. No, An Afternoon with Lynn, I mean. All right. Okay, so the directions say write your answer to question A on the lines below. Base your answer on the story An Afternoon with Lynn. So you're going to write this about yourself. Remember to use capital letters and complete sentences. And you need to write more than 1 sentence, please. How would you share an afternoon with a friend? What would you do? Where would you go? Oh, so that tells me that I should probably write more than one sentence. Here's the first question. How would you spend an afternoon with a friend? To start that sentence, you could say, I would spend an afternoon with a friend and what would you do? And you fill in the blank. That's the first part. Second question, what would you do? Tell me what you would do. What would you do? So that should be another sentence. We would blank. And the last sentence, where would you go? We would go to blank. Tell me what you would do. Write a nice little story about it. When you're done with this guy down here says stop. So that means do not go on. When you're done, make sure your name is on your paper. Turn it into the turn-in basket because we will do the rest of the test throughout the week.